The Trials population in Destiny 2 saw record low numbers, and it is extremely telling of how the franchise as a whole is feeling right now. And so in today's video, we're going to break down exactly just how low this is and just why this is ridiculously bad, especially by the fact that we are just a little over 2 months of the arrival of the final shape, which was a delayed expansion and meant to be a huge success for Destiny 2 for the entirety of this year. So last weekend in Trials, we had 109,000 cumulative players, and we have not seen numbers this low since 2021. Yes, that's right, 2021. We're talking before the Trials revamp even. We have not seen numbers this low. So this is remarkably low for the franchise. Now, obviously, Trials is a playlist where, you can sound off in the comments if you love it or hate it, but I feel like a lot of people dislike it. Of course, there's many different things that Bungie could improve on, and last weekend, we were talking about how we've never seen such a low population drop off so fast off of a new expansion. And I didn't want to make an entire video talking about that because I felt like maybe it was a little too soon. Maybe we'll give Trials a few weeks and see where it goes. But at this point in time, it's looking like it's about to be extremely dark in the next few weeks. We might be seeing some Destiny 2 year one numbers. I don't know if you remember how bad it got back in the day, but the drop off was just absolutely absurd. In fact, it was so bad that literally Bungie was at the point where they're like, this franchise is going to die next month. That's where it was at. They've even talked about this openly before because they like to be very transparent with things. And that's what I want to get to with this, is that I know a lot of people, they're saying, the final shape, it's sucking right now. Everyone's kind of upset about a lot of the layoff situation, and the game is just feeling really flat and drained. Population fall off is extremely steep right now. Destiny is dying. Destiny is a dead game. And I don't like to go that far just yet. I'd rather just classify it as like Destiny is in a downturn right now, because we've seen this so many times before where Destiny is in a downturn and it can go pretty far and it can go pretty low. But Bungie has a way of, breathing some life back into it in various different ways. And hopefully they actually pay attention to Trials and actually do so, because right now it's beginning a pretty low downturn point, right? We've seen this many times before. If you've ever been playing from Destiny 1 all the way until now, we've had 10 years of highs and lows. But the idea is, obviously, for a live service game, you want to keep it at about a medium, right? You don't want to get the lows get too low. And obviously, the higher you can get, the better, of course, because that means, more players, more money, everything. Then you can invest more money back into the game or your other game projects, like Bungie was initially trying to do. And they obviously had to can all of that. So Trials of Osiris has various different problems. You can feel free to sound off your ideas of how to fix Trials. I can't help but feel like one of the biggest things for me, though, is that even with the playlist being absolutely insufferable, with the ridiculous matchmaking, with cheaters being relatively rampant, I would still hop into the playlist if the loot was good enough, all right? If you made the loot desirable enough, you'd see me in Trials. And that's saying a lot, because I really don't want to go in the playlist. I'm enjoying PvE so much more. I'm enjoying making news videos. I'm enjoying making commentary videos. We're making TikToks, YouTube videos, making memes, posts, entertaining you all daily. And I enjoy that side of content so much more than going in and specking out the craziest loadout and sweating and trying to hit every single shot and losing to people that are 3 times as good as me and spend 12 hours a day in that playlist, right? I'm not interested in going in that playlist unless the loot is really good. We need some really good weapons in there. We need artifice armor in there. It just needs to rain good loot on you to keep that population up. I have no clue why Bungie allows such a horrendous playlist to not give you the best loot. It should, if it's going to be that sweaty, it better give you the best loot. And it's not like the loot is absolutely terrible in every way. There's obviously some things in there that are definitely desirable, especially if you like playing PvP, but overall, that playlist, it being as insufferable as it is, it should literally just give you the best loot. That's my opinion of what one thing Bungie could do. But obviously, this downturn is much more than just Trials of Osiris. We're seeing a fall off across the board from the final shape, and this is very interesting because I don't necessarily think it's the final shape being so bad as much as it is some of these other games actually being quite good. We're seeing for the first time some of these competitive games really taking from the player base of Destiny 2 and people kind of staying and enjoying those, at least for the time being, right? Unless Bungie can grab everyone back in with Act 3 or perhaps Episode 2. We'll see what happens with the future of all of that. We'll see what the population looks like after those events go live. But as it stands right now, we are definitely in a downturn. Destiny is not dead, but Destiny is in a serious downturn, and it could be the beginning of dying, especially if these other games keep killing it. A lot of people keep talking to me about all these other games people playing. Yeah, First Descendant's doing pretty good. You've got Warframe and countless others. There's literally so many other games. This was not how it existed back 10 years ago when Destiny 1 was dying during periods of time. It was basically just, there was such a big drought because Bungie wasn't producing any content. And the rival games was like The Division, and that was it. It was like Destiny 2 and The Division for a very short period of time. And maybe you played Borderlands or something, right? There's very little competition 10 years ago, but nowadays, with the industry being a multi-billion-dollar industry, with these huge tech companies shifting so many billions of dollars, formulating new studios, and investing so much into all these different incubation projects, and really they can just pour so much money into anything. They can just hire hundreds of people instantly and start building crazy fast projects. It's no surprise that Destiny 2 is finally starting to catch up, like the other games are starting to catch up in terms of popularity, and Destiny 2 may one day lose its crowned spot, and it could be due to not necessarily negligence from Bungie, which has obviously been the case in some situations, but it could just be due to other games just being that much better or that much more interesting. So let me know what you think about the Destiny 2 Trials of Osiris player base hitting all-time lows, and we'll bring you an update because obviously Trials, there's going to be more Trials week coming out over the next few weeks, and I imagine it's going to plummet even lower and lower. And as much as I don't want to see the downfall of Destiny 2, I'd love to see Bungie actually breathe some life in this playlist. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be pretty drab for a while because even in this week's TWAB, they have no mention of Trials and its extremely low player base. So fingers crossed things get better, but right now it's looking pretty bleak. That's a wrap on the news story, though. Make sure to subscribe, smash the like button for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.